I find this a really interesting question because it has to do with wondering if the way we live our lives today here on earth has any implications for whether or not we are considered evil in the afterlife. And I'd like to caution by first saying it's probably not a good idea for us to spiritually judge another person, especially somebody that we know. We can civilly judge them and judge them whether or not they're breaking a law, such as stealing, but we really should not judge them spiritually. So what I'd like to do is talk about a number from Swedenborg's writings that comes from the book Marital Love. It's also called Conjugal Love, and I'm looking at number 18, and I'm going to read a little bit to you about the uses that people perform and how we can put them in sort of a hierarchy and prioritization. And I think this helps me get a perspective that is very useful when looking at the question of work-life balance. So, as I read in number 18, it says, "To live for others is to do uses. Uses are the bonds of society, which are as numerous as good uses, and these are infinite in number. There are spiritual uses pertaining to love of God and love of the neighbor. There are moral and civil uses belonging to the love of society or the community in which a person lives, and to love for the companions in your society. There are natural uses pertaining to love of the world and all the necessities of life. And there are uses of the body belonging to the love of self-preservation in the interest of the higher uses. All these uses are inscribed on the human being and follow in order, one after the other. When they occur together, one is within the other." Now, in my mind, this can be organized as 4 different levels in a hierarchy. The lowest level is the uses involved in taking care of our body, eating, sleeping, etc., to be healthy. The next level is taking care of our material possessions, our money in the bank, earning money, building a house, etc. The next level are the civil or moral uses, and that is how we get along with other people. And finally, at the top are the spiritual uses, which is our relationship to the Lord and the people closest to us that we love dearly. Now, if we are mindful of the top use, and we are keeping that in mind while we're doing the lower uses, which are having to do with our role in society, our material objects, and taking care of our body. If we do this in service to love of the Lord and a way to give back to the people that we love, then we're being orderly. However, the writings do say that if we are only focused on the bottom 2, we are not really wise people. And that would be an example of somebody who is probably not in good work-life balance. They're probably overemphasis on their own body, their own health, their own looks. And then at the second level, they may be obsessed with money, acquisition of material objects, a biggest house on the block. So in summary, the whole question of whether or not somebody is evil if they don't have good work-life balance is something we can look at in the context of uses. If a person is overly emphasizing the love of themselves or the world and their worldly possession, over time, that can develop into a less than positive love, and one might say evil. But again, we can't always determine that in another person. We can look inside of ourselves.